they'll see Miss Morgan, Papa Morgan get on my butt and they butt at the same time. But they understood that I'm still dad in such a weird way. They understood the dynamics of things.
Right.
Like, yo, that's dad, but we know Granny, you know what I'm saying, got rank over him. Paw got rank over him. And then they supported me by saying, hey, what your daddy say?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was always one of those situations to where I always appreciated them.
Mm-hmm.
What your daddy say? Granny, da-da-da-da. What your daddy say?
Back again with the retired crash out.
So
Are you still retired from crashing out?
last time I checked, crashing's out. So yeah, absolutely.
That's good to hear. Let's talk about a subject that I think is very important to you and a big part about or of you, fatherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How many kids do you have?
Got 6 kids. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm a G daddy for real.
A G daddy. Oh, when did you become a dad for the first time?
I think I was 17. You know, my oldest 2 girls, they 9 months apart.
Okay.
So yeah, I was 17, with a little baby.
Yeah.
9 months later, come another one. So by the time I was 18, I had 2 kids already. So yeah, busy as a young person.
Busy. Yeah, that's a good choice of word, I think. How did you mentioned, kind of being the big middle brother. How did you becoming a father that young affect your sister and brother?
My sister got 3 boys, and my girls are about the same age as her boys. She kind of became a mom the same time I became a dad. So it's kind of like we meshed at having kids at the same time. So
Mm-hmm.
we became parents at the same time. Her kids was my kids is her kids, and it still rings true to this day. So
Yeah.
like we firm believers of, it takes a village. So yeah, that's kind of how that just meshed in. She
Okay.
became TT same time I became Uncle Duck. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a beautiful thing.
yeah.
How did becoming a father during that time in your life with what you were involved in, what was that like?
It was scary. It ain't all about you no more. You gotta take care of not only yourself, but other people, other life that you brought into this world, and being a young man hasn't found his way yet, doing what he doing and moving like he moving. It was scary, but I knew I had to take care of them, you know.
That makes sense. What were some of the things you felt like even at that time you were doing differently with your kids that and as you grew up as well and had more kids, what are things you did differently, I guess, maybe than even what your parents were doing? Maybe there was no difference.
Remember as, my girls as a small girls, even little babies, I would talk to them.
Okay.
Like, really talk with them like, yo, I'm gonna do the best I can for you. I'm new at this. I'm new at this. I'm gonna do the best I can for you. Just
Yeah.
let me know what you need. And I can remember sitting in the car seat, just looking up at me like understood. And I had that same energy like carried on even to now. Like the level and the opportunity to communicate was there. So that's kind of one of the things that I did myself.
Yeah.
Just talk to them, even as little babies.
Open,
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Yeah, I can respect that. Once the kids came into the picture, do you feel like that accelerated your growth in a positive way, or do you feel like it accelerated your growth in more of a type way?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both because I knew that I was one of those kids in my neighborhood, one of the only kids in my neighborhood that had a dad. There was a handful of dads in my whole neighborhood. I knew I wanted to give my kids what I had, and that was a dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew by hook or by crook, I was going to make it happen because it was about them.
Was there a moment before you make big changes where you identified, oh my God, these kids are looking at me. They're seeing what I'm doing?
I can remember, my oldest 2 girls, of course, they had different moms, and they would emulate. I remember one time I would go over and stay Bree and her mom for a weekend or whatever, and she was a little girl. And I remember I was laying on the floor watching football. I had on, no shirt, jean shorts, and she gets up and she runs to her room and she's back there for a minute. Her mom looking at me, I'm looking at her. We like, what is she doing? And she comes back and she doesn't have a shirt on. She has jean shorts, put
Oh,
on socks like me, and we're just looking there and she's laying on the floor like me. And I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? She's paying attention, paying attention.
yeah,
So at that moment, I knew like I have to be careful what I do and say because good or bad, they
right,
were definitely paying attention.
right.
They were definitely paying attention.
Okay. Do you feel like with the girls paying attention to you versus your boys paying attention to you, there was more of an intensity to kind of shelter with the boys more so than the girls or vice versa?
Let me see. The boys probably would say that I was harder on them, but I don't think I was. I just knew that what I wasn't gonna stand for is, them being, fuck niggas. You know what I'm saying? For real. I wasn't about to go for that. So I wanted them to know how to do things. I didn't want them to be so I didn't want to be so reliant upon, what their mom would do or, somebody doing something for them. I wanted to teach them, and I took that as a responsibility to teach them and to be an example, you know.
Well, now, when the boys came along, you were older. Do
Yeah.
you feel like that kind of changed?
Absolutely, absolutely. Older, not all the way wiser yet.
Yeah, I feel you.
The excuse me, the hustles and the grinds was different,
Okay.
The hustles and the grinds was definitely different, but I wanted them to know that I was there for them, I was there for them. I didn't want nobody to feel like any one person or any group of people got more than the next. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like if one person got a pair of shoes, everybody got a pair of shoes. One person got an outfit, everybody got an outfit. It was a situation to where holidays and things, days to be exact. Everybody end up getting something for everybody's birthday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was how I was pulling that off. I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it, but
Yeah, that was a lot.
yeah, it definitely was happening, definitely was happening.
When you were sent away, what did you think about most when it came to your kids? Besides missing them, of course, but
This is another situation to where me and my sister became even closer than we already were because I blew trial. It came to, I was definitely, headed down the way. And I can remember having a phone call, having a conversation with her on the phone, like, look, I blew trial. I'm on my way down the way. I don't know what this about to look like, but make me this promise. Whatever happens to me, you take care of my kids. Promise me.
mhm,
And I'm crying, she's crying.
mm,
I promise you. I
mhm,
promise you I got them.
mhm,
She was like, you take care of yourself. Take care of my kids, Jude. Take care of my kids. Swear,
yeah,
swear, take care of my kids. I can almost hear that conversation in my head. Try
mhm,
not to get choked up about it, you know what I'm saying? Because that's one thing, like, that's my nigga forever
right.
because she did exactly what I told her to do to the point to where, fast forwarded coming home and I would get ready to get on somebody, and she was lioness, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it was like, whoa,
In their mind, even to this day,
yeah,
people tell their mamas, you know what I'm saying? Y'all had them, but them mine.
right,
You know what I'm saying? And she definitely took on that role and still do to this day. If I want to see Move, definitely I'm gonna see Move pull up at Jude crib.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Those TTs are powerful.
Yeah, yeah.
just presence,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
a real TT.
Absolutely.
She's a real TT. A
Absolutely.
lot of people give themselves a title, but they're not doing the work.
Right.
She does the work.
Yeah, she will definitely. There have been numerous times to where I be speaking on the demonstration and speaking on situation and saying having my moments with them, and she definitely will roar up, you know what I'm saying? Knowing she can't stop the rap, but she gonna throw everything she got at it, like, no, hey, Jose, you know what I'm saying? Like, to the point to where me, Miss Mo, Papa Morgan, you Tony Low, we all had to like, have a conversation. They're now like, yo, you can't get involved like that. Them is kids. You can't get in that like that. And she, I don't care. But we found our way through that, So yeah, that was a real deal thing.
Yeah.
She definitely did what I asked her to do. Look after my babies while I was away. And hat goes off to her. My heart goes out to her. You know what I'm saying? If I had one breath left and I had to bust it down and give all of them a piece of it.
There
You
you
know what I'm
go.
saying? Stand on that.
I mean, shit, I'll take her as a TT too.
For real. For real.
Thinking about yourself now and the way your kids see you, what are a few things you hope that they see in you or have learned from you? Any jewels?
I believe seeing myself today, because again, I had them so young to where literally we grew up together.
Yeah.
It's funny, how the dynamics goes,
Yeah.
they would see, they were so young and I was still so young to where they'd see Miss Morgan, Papa Morgan get on my butt and they butt at the same time. But they understood that I'm still dad in such a weird way. They understood the dynamics of things.
Right, right.
They understood the hierarchy. Like, yo, that's dad, but we know Granny got rank over him. Paw got rank over him, but that's still dad. And then they supported me by saying, hey, what your daddy say?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was always one of those situations to where I always appreciated them. They never excluded me or stood on my toes about it. What your daddy say? Granny, da. What your daddy say? And seeing myself today, I hope and I believe that they know, even in my mess, that I gave a fuck.
Yeah.
Care.
Yeah.
Real deal care.
Yeah.
And I still do today. And I think sometimes I overexert me into them where it's just like I want to sit down and just, dissect life in general. And they just like, okay, what's up? You cool? We cool?
We don't need all this.
We don't need all that, but it's just me kind of like, taking up, taking advantage of the moments now because there was times that I didn't or couldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And for the moments that I didn't or couldn't, I tend to still punch on me mentally for that.
Yeah.
So therefore, I probably try to do more or overexert myself or overextend myself for them now just because I can. I can. And them grandbabies, they don't do no wrong. Don't say nothing to them.
That's right.
Don't say nothing to them.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I stand on that. You know
Right.
what I mean?
That's
So
right. Yeah.
so it's like, I seen my grandparents, my parents on the same thing, even to this day with the grown kids. It's funny how if you be around them, nobody says dad said or dad this. It's always my dad. My dad. Even talking to each other, my dad, my dad, my dad. And I'm just like, what is that about? But
I think it's funniest when I hear them say it to their own children.
yeah, yeah.
My dad said, and it's like,
Yeah, you heard. My dad says hi, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'll take it.
yeah, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Y'all have had a long journey.
We definitely have, and I'm so thankful for them. I'm so thankful for them. I'm so proud of them. I'm thankful that they gave me grace.
Yes.
I'm thankful that they gave me grace because nobody brings up old stuff. Nobody brings up old stuff. Nobody lives in the past. Everybody is just right here in the now, in the now.
Yeah.
And that's such a beautiful thing to where I've proven myself to be reliable and consistent. You know what I mean?
Well, I hope you hear yourself saying that.
I will.
Yeah.
Will.
Yeah. Giving yourself grace and forgiving yourself. It's a process.
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely,
process.
absolutely.
But it does help when the folks we want to be in that same space,
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
feel it and they show it to us.
yeah.
Well, gosh, that was a good one. What you think?
I think that's good. I ain't cried yet, so
Well, I still got more questions, but we'll break that off in another video.
right on.
All right.
Peace.